been a little while since we've done a video, but I promise it's going to be worth it. So if this is your first time here, my name's Matt, and in this video we're going to be popping down to the detailing centre and seeing our good channel friend Kelly Harris. So he's got a new venture open at the moment. He's offering a training centre, detailing centre, the job lot. So we're going to be taking my new car, bought a Mercedes CLA, and we're going to be taking it down there for almost 100 hours worth of detailing. So I promise this video is going to be worth sticking around for. In this video we're going to be covering everything from tackling your standard swirl marks, bird poo etching and watermarks. We're also going to look at some sanding. We're going to be dealing with overspray, we're painting calipers, hubs, we've got dent repair, we're going to be ceramic coating the car. You name it, we're doing it. This is going to be one of the most in-depth detailing videos on YouTube that you've ever seen. There'll be a lot of talking in this as well, so there's a lot of education from Kelly Harris, explaining some of the processes that we're doing. So yeah, go and get your favourite beverage, get a coffee, get a beer, whatever, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Right, so that's the intro done and the first look around the car then. So it's been a little while, as I say, since we've done a full video like this, and as always I'm going to be diving in and giving the wheels a thorough clean first of all. Now it's not thorough in the sense that I normally would, but we are going to be hitting it with some G-Technique W6 iron removing wheel and paint cleaner here. The idea here as well is just to get the majority of the faces and some of the barrels as clean as we can whilst the wheels are on the car. But later on in the video, the wheels are going to be coming off. We're going to be doing a full decontamination, polish, coating at that stage later in the video. Yeah, but for now, it's more out of habit. We're going to get the wheels nice and clean first of all. So with all the wheels done then, it's onto the same W6 iron removing product applied to the entire car. And on the top of that, we're going to be applying a snow foam mix of W4 citrus foam with a drop of W1 G-Wash in there. And whilst it sits there and soaks away and starts breaking down the traffic film that's on the car, I'm going to go around all the trim work, all the grills with a stiff brush and some W5 citrus all-purpose cleaner. The idea here is to get all the edges, all the trims, all the difficult areas as clean as possible before we get the car inside ready for polishing. With all the trim done then, it's onto the G-Wash. It's a 2-bucket method. Now when you're doing a full correction like this, you don't really need to do the 2-bucket wash. At the end of the day, we're going to be doing a full multi-stage correction process. But yeah, through habit, I'm doing a 2-bucket wash here. As I said, it's W1 G-Wash again. Just take your time, go around the entire car, make sure it's thoroughly clean, rinse it off, get it dry, let's get it inside.
That's bad. Not really, missing. So Matt's car, I've had a very quick look round. Actually, I opened the door. Let's do this on camera. The car was outside. Matt had just washed the car. Then I said, right, we need to move the cars around. So there's a customer's car outside. I said, let's move that car out of the way and we'll drive this car in. And I opened the door, went, it's been painted. It was literally that quick for the obvious, which there's a nice dry spot there of overspray. So before I'd even gone and looked at the car, taken any paint depth readings, opened door, went, it's been painted. And before I took paint depth readings, so we'll explain, I went like this, nice and quiet. And I went, that's not fallout, that's overspray. Because it's really even and there's loads of it. It's not like tree sap. And I went like this, listen to that. And then that. So I said, this panel's been painted because there's overspray on there, which then we went along like this. Went, it's got less, but that door should be masked. So Matt has already clayed the roof, silence, but not the rest of the car. So I went, there you go, overspray. So I went, yep, that's more than just fall out, and I went, okay. And before I touched the car, I said to Matt, that means these panels will have the worst overspray. So let me explain. When people paint a panel, like a door, they mask up the adjacent panels. And you see this all the time on social media, all the photos and videos. Smart repairs or even body shops, they sort of mask half the car up. They don't fully mask. Some body shops do. But a lot of people just put paper, newspaper, wrap, sheet, half. So if we was to paint this panel, you find the worst overspray is the opposite side of the car. So generally, wherever panel's been painted, the other side's the worst. And it is. So it's like I know about this. So I was like, oh, this is really bad. Then I went, hang on, it's smooth, there's no noise. So I was like, this panel must have been painted. So then I got the paint depth gauge out, paint thickness gauge. And we went round, got 80 microns, 70 microns here, top 80 microns. Matt was playing, checking the car, looking at his bird poo, there's some bird poo etching, and getting worried about that. And I kept saying, stop worrying about your bird poo, because the car's been painted. Let's establish what's wrong with the car. So there are panels that have got 70, 80 microns. I haven't shown Matt yet. I've kept this one off camera. So we had a long conversation off camera about how to read with a paint thickness gauge and how it may tell you incorrect errors if you go by a figure. So let me explain. I said to Matt, how much paint should be on this car? He went 100, 120 microns, which is pretty much correct. We're measuring primer, colour, lacquer. So I said, what if I showed you something at 70, 80? It's like, oh, seems bad. The panels that have been painted have got 125. So we're saying, I think a Porsche is just pulled up on the driveway. There's definitely a sports car outside.
Sounds like it.
So anyway, so there'll be a transition. So there is panels of 120 microns that have been painted, and the original car's about 100. What I'm trying to get at is, Matt said correctly, when he's done a Mercedes before, it was a grey Mercedes, it had about 120 microns all over. The original factory panels on this have got about 100, this lower. Red doesn't generally need to have as many layers as a pearl white car. So when people do this thickness on per manufacturer, it depends if this is black, and what I used to say to people is, a white wall, paint it black, needs one coat. When a wall is black and you try and paint it white, you need 4 or 5 layers of white to make it white and not see-through. It's what happens with colour before the lacquer. So you do get variations of colours of manufacturers. Let me show you some overspray and what it actually looks like. But first, the customer's just about to walk through the door.
So as you've seen then guys, I've just clayed the front wing and the front driver's door, and in the time it's taken me to do that, Kelly's spent like 30 seconds just testing some overspray on the other side. So overall, paintwork is pretty clean in terms of tar and iron removing. It's clean from that. It is just overspray, and as we mentioned earlier, a little bit of dust and dirt in the paintwork. So yeah, we're not going to bother cleaning the rest of it now. A bit controversial, a bit unpopular opinion that. Yeah, so we're going to quickly smash through the overspray with a heavy pad, heavy polish or medium polish, and then we're going to go on as though we're doing a full proper correction. So yeah, we're going to smash down some of this overspray now and yeah, enjoy. So thanks to Kelly for explaining some of the defects that we found. So I'm just going to quickly answer some questions that no doubt are going to be coming in the comments. So product wise, we've basically just used a microfiber cutting pad to smash down a lot of these swirls and get rid of the overspray, and the polish is the 3D Car Care ACA 510 is the premium cutting compound. So quickly knocking down all the swirls and overspray, getting as much done as we can on day one. We'd already lost the day, we should have started the day before, but yeah, enough about that. We then onto the brake calipers here and the hubs. We're giving these a couple of coats of paint. We needed to get these done tonight, so they had overnight to dry and get a couple more coats on the next day. In total, the calipers had 4 coats of red paint and the hubs just had 1 thick coat of hammerite. These will all be ceramic coated later on in the video. So we're well and truly into day 2 at this stage then, still tackling that overspray, still knocking down those swirl marks. In about 60 seconds, you're gonna see some more amazing problems on the car. And what we're about to see, I've not even seen on my driveway. So yeah, stick around, you've got about 60 seconds to go. Enjoy. Right then guys, so we're done with most of the finishing cut now.
Heavy cut.
Heavy cut rather, sorry, Kelly's correcting me over there. Let's take a look to see what he's up to. Going a bit more extreme, so it would appear, on this side.
This is this cut, even though it's more extreme. I'm not going to explain that now because that's too complicated. And it's now 20 to 10, and we've done till about 11:30 last night, wasn't it? It's been a long few days. Right, so what do you want me to say? Just explain what we're doing?
Yeah.
So we've captured how bad this repair is, and I've also explained, haven't I, earlier on yesterday about what this is and why, didn't I? about the sinkage and its primary. I'm waffling because I'm very, very tired. Matt's been a slave driver. So I have to be.
Well, he's working for $3.99, all right.
You Northerners with the tiles.
Super tight.
You've just come down for the nice weather, haven't you? Anyway, so I'm using 3D's dry sanding system with their interface pads on Flex 6-inch 3mm orbit sander, and I've got a 3mm orbit attachment to the PXA 80 with the 3-inch and the 6-inch, and with the correct interface. That's very important with the 3D system. I'm not going to talk about what's the differences now and why I use this. That is literally what I do in training, and also to teach you how to read paint, look at what you use, when, what grades, what type of method, wet sanding, dry sanding, damp sanding, what interface pad, what block, it's slicing tools, delibbing tools, which Matt had a sort of little crash course on polishing earlier. So I've just started sanding this door to remove this bad finish. I explained earlier that the finish is actually under the colour, but now it's all settled, it's actually showing on the surface. So if we level the surface down, it will actually hide that. And I'm 99.9% confident it's going to work, because 35 years of doing this and never ever been a problem. It doesn't make any sense what I'm about to do when the defects are in the primer and then the colour and lacquer's followed and fallen into it. You have this uneven wave pattern on the top. We've just captured some footage, that's why this tape's there. This tape's there is I lift it up to there and I put the tape along this wave line to show this worst area through here. So the idea is I'm going to do the sanding, put the tape, obviously polish, then put the tape back and prove to you this has fixed it. There's no smoke and mirrors, there's no magic tricks. We don't do any edits, never have done in my old videos of my own channel and other brands' channels. And it's the same for Matt here. We're just going to show you true results. So I'm going to do a quick bit of sanding. So dry sanding, the beauty of dry sanding, wipe it clean, wipe it off, and you get to see straight away if you've fixed what you're trying to fix. I obviously know what I'm trying to fix and I know how many passes, but this is to help you understand. If that was wet sanding, which I did for 25 years, probably actually nearly 30 years of my life, that would now wet, it'd do it slowly from the sanding, would all go down the car. You have to wait for it to dry, then you can't see if you fixed the defects. You can also wet sand and dry sand with the wrong type of material, the wrong interface pad or the wrong backing, and make that look like it's gone, but it hasn't. I won't go into names, but decades ago, with some very well-known detailers, when there was a few of the most famous detailers around, we seemed to have like almost the country to our own. There was like 3 or 4 of us. People were travelling from Scotland and everywhere around the country to come for detailing for me. They were saying to me, you can't sand orange peel away because it's in the layers. And I was like, no, that's actually completely wrong. And it's because they was using the wrong techniques and wrong methods. Sanding and making the surface completely matte, so when it's matte you think it's flat. Polishing it back, it was still wavy, so they assumed it's in the layers. And I had someone send me that in 2008 saying, "Now we'd like to do a certain car of his, but we can't do it because of that reason. It's in the layers." And I never told him he doesn't know how to sand. But he doesn't know how to sand. I'm going to carry on. You might as well see some B-roll of me doing it. It's really boring. It's actually average.
So yeah, thanks so much for that, Kelly. So let's say we're going to crack on with the rest of this now. You can see the clock behind me. It is almost 10 o'clock at night on a Saturday night. So
Bank holiday.
Bank holiday weekend. It's Easter and you're probably watching this month.
Where's my egg?
Time. I'll get you an egg. So yeah, carry on watching the video. We're going to smash through the refining, coating. We might pause back in. But yeah, keep watching. Stay tuned. Right, so we're into day 3 now, and first thing to say, it's a Saturday. I was up every day at 8 AM. We was working to about 11 at night, and whilst I wait for Kelly to make the brews, I'm cracking on polishing the faces of these wheels, make sure the barrels are fully decontaminated, ready for coating later. Now, at the drop of a hat, we managed to get Kelly's dent guy out, so you've probably seen tape marks around the car during this video. I was worried about 2 dents. I think Kelly had labelled up another 6, so I think we expected about 8 in total. Kelly's dent guy came out and I think he removed about 9 dents. If you're in the Kent area, check out Inspector Dent. His name's Tandy, top work. Yeah, absolutely great just watching how someone can do this. So as I said, this video is containing absolutely everything. So let Tandy finish off here and we'll crack on with some more detailing.
So this is the last panel to be corrected. I know you said heavy cut. Let me explain why. It sort of doesn't need to be heavy cut in a moment. We are now going around the car, and I've just done the bonnet and turned the lights off in this room, studio, my little studio. Turn the lights off so we can use an inspection lamp. And what that does is that darkens the room, making whatever we use with this light easier to see. It's the basics, because there's lots about bleaching and distance and colour, brightness, temperature. There's a lot more to it than that, but basically when the room's very bright in here like it is, our pupils get smaller, we can't see as much information, but it helps us look at the whole car for cleaning edges, gaps and shuts, which we can actually talk about in a minute on camera. A bit of cleaning, polishing a wiper blade, wiper arm, an edge, which is when I want all the lights. Then, after I've done my correction with all the lights on, I then turn those lights off and use an inspection lamp and do the localised areas. So there is a little bit of heavy cut that Matt, the cameraman, or it's obviously his car, is now correcting as well. So we're going around, turning the lights off behind, checking for defects, doing spot little polishing with small machines for those last few defects. Anyway, this door. You could technically, with this sanding stage, polish this with a medium compound and medium cut. I've used what we've used in the car, which is a heavy cut microfiber pad and a 3D, let me show you, 3D compound, a step 1 cut compound. Now on the car, to give you some sort of context, the defect, some places have been 2-3 passes. That's very normal. And the reason why 2-3 passes, we don't want to use a really, really heavy combination like a rotary and wall pad, which we could, which leaves holograms and more mess, because this is how we've been polishing. It's pretty clean. So we've had 2-3 passes. That's 1 pass. Let me show you a light. So that's 1 pass. Very quick, gentle pass with a battery flex polisher, DA machine. So, and I said to Matt that the sanding I've done here, I've left it so it's so easy to correct. You could sand less. So basically I've sanded in 1500, then 2500, 3D dry sanding system. Then I've used a pad, I can't, or a sanding disc, I can't say who it is yet because it's a prototype, in 3000 grit. And even Matt doesn't know what that is. And I didn't tell him until this now on camera, or he hears. There's a 3000 damp sanding, wet sanding disc. Then I went 6000. I can polish back. Matt just looked for the discs. I'm sure he looked around.
I've seen the discs.
They're put away already.
Oh,
so you can't see them. They're put away. I have to be careful sometimes.
I just thought I'd see the box. I thought
yeah, they're gone because there's sometimes I can't. I'm not allowed to let people see because what I do.
Even me.
So 1,500 grit. I could, and I do, and I show it on training. I can correct back 1,500 grit sanding. I can then obviously means I could correct 2,500, which is finer, 3,000, 4,000, or 6,000. So the more grades of sanding, the finer the sanding is, the quicker and easier it is to polish. But also, it helps me see that I fix the defects in the sanding process before polishing. So very controversial, and I will stand by this with all my years of experience. Obviously, painting cars, restoring cars, been around the body shop for 35 years. All my family had, and my step family were painters, accident repairers, restoration. That if you can still see the defect after sanding, so let's take the classic of everyone on Instagram seems to be doing this. If you have a scratch and you see anyone on social media sanded, and I'm not going to explain why that's really the wrong way of doing it. That's a different subject that's going to take about an hour to describe with diagrams. If you see sanding being used to take a scratch away, and before the polishing stage happens with a rotary and wall pad or a dual action machine with short wall or microfiber, all those are heavy cut compounds or heavy cut process. If you can see the scratch after all the sanding stages, the scratch has not fixed the sanding hasn't fixed the scratch. I'll say it again. If you see a scratch line, you see these people going small little areas up and down, side to side, all their little blocks. And the scratch is still there just before they start to polish. You can see it in their videos or photos. The sanding hasn't removed the scratch. And I'm going to say this now on camera. Depends what sanding stage, because if you use 40 grit, it's not true. In the sanding stages we use as a detailer for removing orange peel, removing dirt, defects in the paint, or softening the look of orange peel, we're probably using 1,500 maximum. I have used 1,200 on cars, but we're probably using 15. Sometimes people use just 2,000 or 2,500. I can absolutely prove over and over again, which I have 200-300 times in front of pupils that come to me for a week, that sanding removes less paint than polishing. Interesting, I was sanding this yesterday. The water stain marks were still there after 1 or 2 passes with sanding, which is another fact. When you polish, they're gone. So I generally use the sanding stages to fix the defects that are on here. Again, I'm not going to explain because it's long-winded already. I can now see all of these defects are gone because I've got the tape in the same place. I will, after polishing, place this tape back along this line, so we'll have exactly the same position to prove they're gone. I've just taken some shots on my phone for myself, because I might use this door in future training with pupils, because it is a really good example of what can be fixed with the right knowledge. Matt's seen this wasn't actually that complicated. I was actually sanding last night while on the phone talking to someone, just moving it around, because it is really quite simple when you understand what to do. So all that's left really is to polish, correct this door, then we're going to go around and check the rest, then clean down and refine. So while we're doing this, let's come round on camera. We have done, the car's quite high, but Matt luckily is quite tall. We ideally would lower the car down to show you this. Look at this wiper blade or wiper arm compared to this one. I polished that. I didn't paint it, hasn't been coated. I've machine polished that arm. That looks much better, and obviously in keeping with this here. Also, you'll see this area here. I've hand cut, machine polished. The trim there, look how the glass is spotlessly clean right to the edge. And if you go the other side, there's an accumulation of 5-6 years worth, 30,000 miles worth of water staining around the edge. So this brings us to, what is detailing? Because some people polish cars and take swirls away, and that's detailing. Some people just clean cars and call that detailing. It's a combination, isn't it? It's literally a combination. Making that prettier, cleaner, it's worked. This glass is clean here. We're going to polish the glass to remove all the film and grit and crap on the glass, not to remove scratches. We're going to polish, and I've polished this area here. This, I believe, is more important to remove than the swirls on the car, but I do both. But to do this edge and take the swirls away, this is like a 5-6 day job. And me and Matt have been on our 3rd day now, been long days. There's still a day and a half left to do in this car. So this is a 6-day job, all day long. But the difference at the end, and you're going to see this on camera, is incredible. It will look insane. We had a long conversation with Matt, because he owns the car. Would someone pay for 5-6 days worth of labour, a skilled person with expensive products on a car this value? No, normally not, because they don't see the value. But actually, this car will look so good if you're going to keep the car for a few years, that you'll never ever achieve normally. And then I said to Matt, when you get a brand new car, £100,000 Range Rover, probably 150,000 now, aren't they? M3, RS, whatever, Golf R, £50,000 Golf R, you don't have all this dirt and crap. So those cars need a little bit less hours, sometimes half the hours, but they're like 4 or 5 times the value of this car. So the customer will pay to have his car detailed because obviously it's a £100,000 car, £50,000 car, and wants to protect it. So these older second-hand cars I love doing because the transformation is massive, and it really shows off what we do as detailers of our knowledge, especially sanding down really bad paint repairs. So this is where I think my trade, my skills as a detailer comes into play, is I can make this car look incredible compared to a brand new car, which is very difficult to make look better. You can. So let's get on with it. What do you think, Matt?
Yep, let's crack on to refinishing. With all the dents removed, then we're back onto some of the final work of, well, basically getting the car ready for coatings. So we're a long way from finished right now, but here I'm just applying EXO V5 on top of Crystal Serum Ultra that had already been applied to these wheels. And whilst I'm doing that, Kelly is correcting the glass and he's going around a few areas that I just may have missed that could do with a little bit more correction, some sanding marks and things such as that. And once I'd done all the wheels, it was then onto the trim. So if you've ever met Kelly, if you've ever been on his training course, you will understand all about the edges and making sure all of these details are perfectly clean before we can go ahead and coat. And this is what makes a detail a detail. I'm not going to go further into that. If you want to learn more, as I say, Kelly is offering training and consultancy as part of his new venture. Again, links will be in the description below. But needless to say, the rest of Saturday evening, and we worked once again late until almost midnight, was just about getting the car ready for coatings tomorrow. So yeah, let's get through this and we'll jump into the coatings.
It's not been pan white, but with
Shut up. Just talk about the thing.
I can see compound. There's actually smear of compound. It might be pan white residue. But anyway. Right. So day 4, we're just about to coat the car in Crystal Serum Ultra. And the reason why we're doing this video now, just said to Matt, we could do this at the end. We can't, because this masking tape literally will not stick at all once we've coated this car. The whole point of coatings is not that you stick masking tape to your car, but stop any fallout sticking on the car and protect the car. So it will have a problem with that tape sticking. So we've recorded some B-roll of results afterwards, and really it's just say that the sanding's worked. There's a massive improvement. I mean, most people think that door needs painting again, but it's results. So as a recap, it was using the 3D dry sanding system with a 3-inch disc and a 6-inch disc, and then I went into wet sanding, or what I call damp sanding, because you shouldn't really flood those discs with water because they aquaplane across the surface and don't cut the surface. That was a 3000 and 6000 disc. Looks lovely, and it's fixed. It really is fixed. And if anyone wants to know why have we put colour pen there? Why is there 2 different colours? Literally the pen was running out. There's no other reason. It happened to get less and less, and it was perfect for where the worst defects that wasn't set up. I was just drawing green, you'll see it getting not very bright, and so I went to red. But why do I draw on the tape? It's very easy to actually focus on the surface. So little tip here. Again, I see this all over social media, but people have been doing this since the early days of Detailing World back in 2008, when I was on Detailing World for about 7-8 years. I think I was posting. Then there was a post on my Facebook page, probably 2011, where we done all about focusing and distances. And if you take a photo or video of any car down shallow angle, it always focuses on the reflection. I am looking at Matt, when I see this wing at the moment in the camera, I see loads of orange peel. I see less orange peel now, because unfortunately it will have less orange peel to fix down here, but it's not dead flat. I've tried to blend it away. But I look, and all I can see is defects and orange peel. If I then pick my phone up, do you know what? I'm going to do this. And so, if I pick this up, a phone, and now I zoom in, I get Matt as a perfect reflection, and the more shallow he goes down that way, so if you go closer to the car, there you go. So now Matt's gonna stay there. There is definitely orange peel, perfect shot in the curve of this wing. If I now get Matt in the curve of the wing, it's going to be difficult because it is curved, but you can see there it is. It's almost looks flat. But if I do that, you see there's orange peel. So the shallow angle shows orange peel. So we see this all the time. Or I see this all the time on social media. So what am I trying to get at here? If I didn't have this tape there with a line, the camera's going to look for something to focus on. And that's phones, cameras, anything left in auto. It's not just an iPhone or whatever, Samsung, Android, or a particular camera. They all will focus on something. So they focus on the reflection, which I can see Matt now in the reflection. So that means, unfortunately, they have a shallow depth of field generally. You can't see the orange peel. By putting the tape on the surface and drawing a line, it makes it really easy to capture defects on the surface, which obviously orange peel, scratches, swirls, bird poo, contamination, overspray is on the surface. One time you don't need this, if you're a very good photographer, videographer, you can set a really good quality lens into manual focus and you can actually see it and focus it. But it does actually mean you could focus it out as well. So people, Matt's nodding, it'd be really easy to show swirls before, swirls after, or scratch before and after, and just literally change the focus and take another video or photo. And it looks like you've fixed it. So that's why I do the tape. And just lastly, it was 2011, very well known brand now. It was a detailer at the time. was saying that you can't remove orange peel. There's actually probably the most famous detailer in the world saying to me, you can't remove orange peel, it's in the layers. And I was like, what? And it was because they was using the wrong sanding methods and then using a camera, obviously to capture it, or a phone, and they noticed that always in the photos and videos of whatever they've captured it with, the orange peel didn't look like it was there, but actually it is. So famously, I went to their open day when their brand opened up. I did some training on a bonnet and sanded it completely flat. Just went there to prove it's not in the layers, it's on the surface. And this fix here, if there's anything to prove that, the fix was now done, that the defects are under the surface, but it's translated into the surface irregularities, sanded and polished. That's me talking enough, because we've got many hours of 2 layers of G-Technic coatings, and then it's car's finished. Oh, by the way, wheels are done. Glass, Matt's just done the glass, so we're on the home stretch. Yay! I can have a rest.
Let's get on to serum. Right, so there we have it then guys, that's the car fully completed now. So after the full polish and everything, it's had Crystal Serum Ultra and EXO. So yeah, we'll take a quick look at some more aftershots in just a moment. First of all, I just want to say a big thanks to Kelly for taking care of this for me. If you're interested in this kind of level of detail, as you can see, Kelly is G-Technic accredited, he offers training, full detailing, everything. So make sure you get in touch with him over on Instagram, Facebook, wherever. I'll put all his links to his socials down in the description below. So yeah, so one last thing to do now is just take a look at some more after shots, and we'll see you in the next video.